Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan podcast where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
Ooh, Joe, it's getting warmer. I see MLB, I see NFL, I see so many things in the
Mm-hmm.
sports world, my friend.
Oh,
Lots
yeah,
going on.
definitely. All right,
What you
so
got cooking?
I'm going to talk about a young lady by the name of Cheryl White. Now, she was born in Cleveland, Ohio, to Raymond, an African American trainer, and Doris, a Polish American horse owner. Now, the family owned 80 acres of land in Rome, Ohio, and they owned several thoroughbreds.
Mm,
Now, she started riding when she was 4.
mm,
So now she became the first African American female jockey and began her career at 17.
wow.
Yeah. Now, the national newspapers covered her first race, as a jockey in June of 71. She finished 11th. So, that was not too great, but that was her debut.
Got to start
So,
somewhere.
oh yeah, yeah. And then she appeared on the cover of Jet magazine in July of that year. You know, and she won her first race in September. Now,
Mm.
she was credited with 226 wins and earnings of $762,624.
She was no slouch.
No, no. Now, she was paid $35 per mount, and she got 10% of the horse's earnings when she placed first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot for back in 71.
Yeah, you was making some bank.
Mm-hmm. She became the first woman to win 2 races on the same day in 2 different states.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she also became the first jockey to win 5 races in one day in October of 83 at Fresno Fair. So
Mm.
the girl could
Wow.
ride,
Wow. Yeah, she could ride them ponies.
you know. Now, she also did quarter horse, Arabian, painted, and Appaloosa racing.
Wow.
So,
That's next level.
yeah, yeah. And as an Appaloosa rider, she was the first woman to win the Appaloosa Horse Club's Jockey of the Year award in 77.
That's a bad lady.
Mm-hmm. And she also won it in 83, 84, and 85.
Mm.
And she was inducted into the Appaloosa Hall of Fame in 2011.
Mm.
So now she became a steward in California in 91, and she retired from racing in 92 to become a racing official.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, she returned to the saddle for appearances at the Lady Legends for the Cure event that was held at Pimlico
Yeah.
between 2010 and 2014.
Yeah.
So that's a nice racetrack. I've been by there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. It's in Baltimore. That's where they hold the Preakness.
Oh, that's where they hold the Preakness.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now, her final ride was aboard Macho Spaces at Pimlico in 2014. Now,
Hmm.
now she estimated that she had won about 750 races in total as
Mm-hmm.
a thoroughbred rider. So
Mm.
now, unfortunately, she died in Youngstown, Ohio, in 2019 at the age of 65.
Oh, wow. Young.
Yeah. But man,
Mm.
the girl could ride.
She could ride them ponies now. She could ride them ponies.
That's for sure. So what's going on with Coach Prime?
Man, you got to let me meditate on that. Man, you show me Jet. You always come up with this historical stuff, man. You show me Jet, bring me down memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because they used to have a centerfold, but I won't talk about that right now.
No, we won't talk about that right now.
You 13, 14 years old, you be like, who, that's who.
Uh-huh.
But let me get serious. Back to sports. Well, guess who's running? And I haven't seen the NCAA. I haven't seen any of the major powers do it. An actual NIL intro. Got the players in the room with potential sponsors in an organized fashion, so athletes could talk to potential sponsors. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that they can cut deals. Because Coach Prime has been saying, people keep calling it NIL, but I don't see nobody on TV. I don't see any NIL. I see collective. You're buying athletes, you're paying for athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any NIL. And someone says something very interesting to me, and I said, I think they dropped the ball and they're going to regret it. He said to me, Joe, their failure to do right by these athletes opened the door for Coach Prime to control the NIL market. I said, what? He said, Barry, think about it. How many things that the NCAA should have been ahead of, on top of, and setting rules to, and they've been MIA. So he's been doing it for his Colorado players. So he's literally creating the pilot of how to do it. He said, literally, Barry, Colorado is turning into NFL University. And I think I said at some point, it's going to get to a place where players are going to say, you know what? I need to go to Colorado. I could sit here for 2 years and maybe my third year get some shine, or maybe not. Or I can go to Colorado, get an opportunity to get exposed, get opportunity, make money. I could get it all in Colorado. So we're getting ready to see going forward, and it's already happening. Is you a lot of guys who are leaving the Blue Bloods and going to Colorado, especially guys who've got dreams of the NFL.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a hard. What do you say? My offensive coordinator, NFL. My defensive coordinator, NFL.
Yeah.
My running backs coach, NFL. My down lineman and my offensive lineman coach, NFL. Oh yeah, sprinkle in a few Hall of Famers there to do it. Right? What? Then my head coach is Mr. Marketing, one of the best to ever do it, and he's bringing all this attention. All his friends are the GMs. So he's creating an environment that is almost very, very hard to resist not going to Colorado. If you've got NFL dreams. I got the best coaches. I got the best facilities. I got the money. I got everything. And the person said, they've literally given the keys to Coach Prime. And so he's just going to do it for Colorado and charge everybody else to come learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't argue with him, Joe. I couldn't argue.
No.
And he said, Colorado's going to become NFLU. Watch. I said, you ain't got to convince me. No. I saw that coming.
Well, we'll definitely see.
We'll see. What you got, buddy?
Now, speaking of the NCAA, March Madness is in full swing right now. Now, Duke, they advanced to the Final Four for the first time since Coach Shire took over in 22.
Yeah.
They beat number 2 Alabama by 20, 85 to 65.
Really? By 20?
Yeah. Wow. You know, they're led by Con Knipple and his 21 points. And then Cooper Flagg, he dropped his 16 with 9 rebounds. You know,
he's a beast at 6'10".
That's for sure. Now the Tide, they went 8 for 32 from 3-point land.
Oh, they were in Antarctica.
Oh man, the defense just shut them down.
They were in Antarctica because they do got a guy over there who can shoot in Alabama. He can shoot, so they must have put a stranglehold on him.
Oh yeah, they had freshman Kamen Malach. He was protecting the rim, and they just couldn't get it done with him. So now they're going to go on to play Houston in the Final Four.
Wow, Houston's back in it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Now, the UConn women, man,
they're balling.
Paige Bueckers put on a show.
That girl is a bad woman. I was trying to tell people. I know Caitlin, and I take nothing from Caitlin, but that girl right there, she's a bucket.
I'm telling you, man.
She's a walking bucket.
She was the first player to ever score 40 points in a tournament game.
Really?
She dropped 40.
That's saying something.
She went on a tear in the second half with 29, and she finished 16 for 27 from the floor.
Oh, she was on fire.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. They beat Oklahoma 82-59.
Oh, shit. She was on fire.
I mean, the Sooners, they just had no answer for her at all. And they held the Sooners scoreless in the second quarter.
Really?
Yeah. So now they're going to meet USC in the Elite Eight.
Oh, so JuJu's not going to be on the floor.
Yeah. So, and speaking of USC, now she went down, right? And everybody said, "Oh, that's a devastating blow to the team." No, they stepped up.
Well, they got some ballers now.
Oh yeah.
JuJu's JuJu, but they got some ballers now.
They beat Mississippi State with a resounding 96-59 win. Okay. And then they stepped up again, beating Kansas State. So now that
could be the showdown, Joe. UConn and them.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, Kiki Iriafin, she had a down game. Mm-hmm. So all the freshmen stepped up.
Wow.
So now they're in the Elite Eight, and with Avery Howell and Kennedy Smith becoming the first pair of freshmen to score at least 18 points in a tournament game since Bueckers and Elias Edwards did it 3 times in 2021.
Joe, what team they play for? Those two freshmen?
USC.
The 2 freshmen did that?
Yeah.
Oh, this oh boy. Oh,
I'm telling you, that's gonna be the game to watch, man.
Yeah, that. Oh, I'm so sad for. I love JuJu. She's awesome.
Oh yeah.
She's a competitor. She's a baller. But that Buecker boy, ooh, Gino got her playing. She's sound too. Her fundamentals are. She's sound. She's a killer. Are you telling me, Joe, she is the first woman to drop 40?
Yep, in the NCAA tournament.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's a bad woman.
Yeah, that's a bad woman right there. That's a bad woman.
That is, man. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's going on with the different football leagues?
Well, I got to watch the UFL, and it was quite entertaining. And I never get enough of football, but it was really interesting to see the sideline, the conversations with the players. Colorado, during the game, Colorado. So but it was just really interesting to seeing how. And I think Agent Martez is going to come back and give us even some further insight, because he mentioned to me a particular NFL player who's either sponsoring a 7-on-7 league that's doing very well. I've always thought there's a huge market for 7-on-7.
I think that's where Johnny Football is. He's in one of them 7-on-7 leagues.
He should be with all that talent. Yeah. He should be throwing out a pill somewhere for somebody, to somebody.
Yeah.
But He's working on getting the person that he knows, that player who's got that league and how it's doing and all that, to, as we always do here at Smarterfan, we always up the ante. I know I've gotten emails and I've gotten texts. Hey, you guys are approaching 100. Are you guys planning something special? And yes, we are, fans. We are planning something very special. Very special. But I can't let it out of the wraps just yet.
Yeah.
Yes, we got something
Right.
coming. So yeah. The other leagues, I think is hitting that maturation and stride. And someone said something interesting to me. Tell me what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Barry, Major League Baseball underwrites, their league. I think the
Right.
NBA underwrites their league.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't the NFL, with all the money that they're making, underwriting these other leagues as feeders to the NFL?
You would think.
Okay. I'm not crazy. I was just wondering, Joe. I
Well,
mean,
that's what we had talked about this before with the UFL, how they can be like a breeding ground for players that didn't make it in the NFL, went to the UFL,
yeah,
showed what they could do, and now the NFL saying, "Oh, okay."
exactly. And think about it. So if you got a franchise as the Pittsburgh Steelers that you're underwriting, the team that's tied to you, it's my farm team,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get to develop talent. Hey, this kid just needs a little bit more of this, maybe a little bit more season. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to wait a whole season for a draft to develop. They're already
Mm-hmm.
developing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I'm like, you're right. Why aren't they doing that? That would make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have your own homegrown farm system. I mean, the other leagues do it. I don't know why the NFL is not doing it.
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes the NFL is full of themselves.
That is true, my friend.
So now, Major League Baseball,
Yes.
couple of things. People are getting off to slow starts. Now, Nasty. I know it's early, okay, but Nasty Nestor, he made his return to the Bronx,
Okay.
okay, and it didn't go so well for him.
Yeah.
He gave up 5 home runs
Oof,
in the first 2 innings he pitched,
oof, oof,
and that was 5 of 9 home runs the Yankees hit in the game.
oof.
So,
Mm,
I mean, he
okay.
gave up. Yeah, he gave up home runs on his first 3 pitches.
Trying to get over that tequila.
and the Yankees beat the Brewers 20-9. Now when he got traded, I wasn't too broken up about him leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, first of all, they traded him for one of the best closers they're saying that's in the league, Devin Williams.
Mm.
So, and he's just an injury waiting to happen. You're only going to get about a half a season out of him at best. You know,
Yeah, well,
so
depends on what part of the season you get him.
well, they got him at the last end of the season, and he didn't do well either.
Mm.
He gave up that grand slam to Freddie Freeman. So
Sometimes it's like that. Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to see how that goes with him. But the
Mm-hmm.
Yankees are on a roll so far.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Roki Sasaki, he's that pitcher that the Dodgers got from Japan,
Boy, the
and
Dodgers be having that pipeline to Japan, boy.
I'm
They don't
telling you,
play.
yeah. Well, he didn't do so well either. He didn't get out of the second inning of his game either.
Okay.
So, control problems, they were saying. So he walked 4 and he threw 61 pitches to 12 batters.
Oh, wow.
He threw 41 pitches in the first inning.
That's
So
a lot of pitching.
yeah, so that's why Roberts gave him the quick hook. Now, Rafael Devers. Now, this guy, since the Red Sox got Bregman, he's been pounding his chest saying, "Oh, third base is my position. I'm not giving it up."
He doesn't make that decision.
Yeah, well, he didn't because he's the DH. and Bregman is playing third. So, but so far he went 0 for 4 against Texas as the DH. And he's 0 for 12 with 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's not happy.
So now he's the first player to strike out at least 10 times in the first 3 games of the season.
He's not happy.
Yeah, evidently,
Right.
So now he broke the record that was held by Wally Post of the 56 Reds and Greg Luzinski of the 74 Phillies, who both had 9 strikeouts in 3 games. So
eventually it's going to come down to either he's able to get out of it or they're going to trade him. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah. That's that's the way I see it anyway, because there's always a kid waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes a lot of times these things are not talent decisions; they're business decisions.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And sometimes you gotta choose. Sounds like Aaron Rodgers. Do I want to keep playing or do I want to sit home?
Well, I got a kick out of this whole situation with Rodgers because what was about 2 weeks ago, he was he thought he was going to bring that circus back to town where he sits around waiting for everybody wait while everybody's at his feet waiting to see what he's going to do. Well, the Vikings said, "Nah, we're good." And then the Giants signed Mr. Magoo. So Rodgers said, "Oh shit, I better get my ass to Pittsburgh."
And that's even tenable.
Exactly.
Because it gets to a point. What has caught up is, do the wins or potential wins outweigh the circus and the distraction and the drama? Yeah. And at this point in his career, that's why the Minnesota said what they said. I said with the young kid.
Exactly.
Because I know if I bring him you here, you're not going to help him. You're not going to do that.
No.
So why even bring you here?
Nope.
You're not my future. You're not my quarterback for the next 5-10 years. It becomes a business decision. So I'm going to keep my kid with his head on right and coach him up. And he's not going to get that. See, that's why, as Uncle Shannon be telling you, they tolerate you until they can get rid of you.
Well,
and he's made his bed, unfortunately, and he may leave unceremoniously.
So sports as an economic engine.
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with some former players, friends of mine, and we kind of had a very interesting conversation. And it was just kind of like looking at where sports is, where it's always been. I mean, college, especially college sports, has been around like over 100 years, right? And you start to look at what has happened and so forth and so on, and where it is now. You start to think about, some of my friends went to HBCUs, and usually they're the biggest thing pretty much happening economically.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it was kind of like the conclusion of the conversation was like, I remember a friend of mine in high school. I think Doug was a year or two ahead of me in high school. Yeah. And he went to Nebraska when Nebraska was Nebraska. Right. Yeah. And he was a running back. And that's where I first learned about 90,000 people in a town shutting down to watch a football game.
Yep.
Because Doug, I'd see Doug on TV. Right.
Yeah.
And I said, wow. And I mean, there's nothing going on in Nebraska but Nebraska football.
Exactly.
Michigan football. Matter of fact, the college team is more popular than the Lions. University of Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So I said I had to choose this. I said that I think that's what Coach Prime was trying to get the HBCUs to open their mind up to like, guys, you're thinking entirely too small. This is not 1955. You need to realize you got a heck of a product here that most of the country doesn't know about. You got tremendous coaching, tremendous time. We just need to get our books together and get some polish and shine back on this thing. And we got a billion dollar economic engine.
Well, we're going to have to hold that thought right there.
That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
Part two next week.
All right.
Good stuff, my friend. Got me again with the trivia. Brought out the Jet magazine. I wonder if I got a few Jets hidden somewhere. I don't know.
Well, you know what we say. Stay in the game.
Stay in the game, my friend. Smarterfan podcast. Back at you next week, family, with more of sports and life and what we do on Smarterfan. Be well. Take care.
All right. Have a good night.
Smarterfan.